Two dummies and a microphone with Christina. She's a CEO of Pretty Girl Makeup. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, Christina?
My name is Christina Flach. I'm a celebrity makeup artist. I am the CEO of Pretty Girl Makeup. What else am I? I'm a mother of 5. I'm moving tomorrow, so my life's a little chaotic right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm a sepsis awareness advocate, and I also speak about grieving in a positive way. And I know that sounds a little like odd. How do you go from being a CEO and a makeup artist to that? My husband, I was married to Ken Flach. He was a professional tennis player. He was #1 in the world with his partner, Rob Seguso, in the 80s and 90s. And they won a gold medal and Wimbledon, and they were on Davis Cup team. And sadly, my husband passed away 3.5 years ago from sepsis.
Oh, wow.
And so because of who my husband was, the Sepsis Alliance had reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to raise awareness for sepsis. So, people are made aware of what the signs are, so more people don't lose their loved ones. And I said, yes, I would be happy to do that. And it's actually really helped with my grieving process, being able to help others. And I know I've saved many lives, which feels really good to me. I have a good friend. She's turned into one of my best friends, Melinda. Her husband, she heard an interview of mine, and she had texted me on Facebook, and I never even checked my Facebook messages, but thank God I did. And I told her, get to the hospital quick if you think he has any of the signs. And she did. And then they still wouldn't test him because it's very confusing about sepsis. You could be either have a temperature or be very cold. You have, there's infection in some part of your body. There's incredible pain. And so it's a little confusing. And if people want to go to sepsis.org to find out more about it, there's a little timetable thing that says time. And what it means is T is for temperature, hot or cold. I is for infection. M is for mental decline. It's hard to rouse them. They're not all there.
Yeah.
And E is for excruciating pain. You feel like you're dying because you are.
You are, yeah.
Yeah. So it's an infection of the blood that attacks all your vital organs. So that happened. So I started speaking about that. And then people asked about how I'm dealing with grief. And, obviously it's incredibly painful and sad and horrible, but I also feel that honoring your loved one by doing positive things, like I started an educational foundation for my husband at the Northern Light School in Oakland, California. And, I feel like honoring him in a positive way is, I don't know. I don't like to be miserable, even though at times I am.
Yeah, you want to celebrate his life and what he achieved and what he did and what he was known for, vice just sitting around and not being able to do anything for anybody else.
Absolutely. And, I have children. So if I'm, out of my mind and miserable, that's just going to make them be that way. And I want them to have a happy life. I mean, obviously you have to deal with grief and the ups and downs of it, but you also have to, deal with things, you can honor them in a positive way. You don't have to be constantly sad. So that's what I try to do. So
nice. And then we can get all that information at the end and we can put that out so that people can be aware of what's going on if anything like that happens.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, in between all that, I am running my company, Pretty Girl Makeup, and I am, doing podcasts, and I am a celebrity and I'm a makeup artist. So
nice.
I do TV shows and fashion and film. And so, yeah.
Yeah. How'd you get involved into the makeup industry?
I started doing, like my friends' makeup. I did my mom had cancer when I was young. And so I felt like it was really important to
make her feel good about herself.
Yeah. So I just did her makeup one day. She was going out with my dad. So my mom was very beautiful, and she was going out with my dad, and I just said, Mom, let me make you up. I wanted her to feel good. So I did her makeup. I didn't think I had any makeup skills whatsoever, but I miraculously did. And it was just shocking, the transformation of how she felt. It wasn't like that I did this miraculous job, but I really loved making people, I loved that feeling of making people feel like the best versions of themselves. And for her to feel better, it was just, it really did shift something in her. So then I started doing friends and, family. And then I don't know how it happened, but I started called me, and then I did weddings, and then I got an agent and publicist, and then I started my company. It's kind of remarkable, actually.
That is crazy.
I never expected it to happen.
Oh yeah, especially, I mean, because you're in California, right?
Right.
I mean, because there's so many people that are out there that do this stuff, and then just one day, just all kind of clicks or the stars align, and then I looked at your website, and Neiman Marcus and and all the big wigs that are out there. It's got to be weird to be around those types of people coming from, I started doing makeup for my mom theoretically, and then now
Yeah,
you're here.
it is. I mean, sometimes I have to pinch myself. I did a TV series with Isaiah Washington last year, and it was on for Fox called Kitchen Talk. And to do a whole series, I had never done that before. I usually just do a day job with like the Food Network or Fox,
Yeah.
like just one thing. But to do a whole series with someone is just so much fun. It was a great experience. It was just, you get to know everyone on set. It's like being
Yeah.
you just are super close. And it was interesting because there was a guest on the show, Roger Lodge. He's an actor down in LA, and
Hmm.
he had called me like a month ago and said, "Hey, remember me? Like, who did my makeup? And I'm doing a 2-day commercial. Like, will you come down and do my makeup?" And I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
my grooming. And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so nice that you remembered me."
Yeah.
So yeah, I went and did the 2-day commercial, and so it's really, I think when you're a makeup artist, it's not just how you make people look. Like, obviously you need to make them look like the best versions of
Oh yeah.
themselves, but when they're going on camera, they really need to be in a good, happy, peaceful place. So that's part of
Yeah.
my job as well, is
The experience.
making sure like when they get out in front of that camera, like I've either been super quiet or listened to them, or they want to talk to me. I just have to kind of read it quickly to figure out what they need for them to be the best version of them when they get out in front of the camera.
So you're a makeup artist and a therapist then?
Pretty much. And dietitian.
Oh wow.
I'm always giving like, okay, are you drinking your green juice? How much water have you had today? What supplements are you taking? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I really enjoy that. I think it's probably because I have so many children. I collect more.
Oh, I can imagine. And so you have 5 kids?
I do.
That is bananas.
It is, but it's great. They're amazing. I have 4 living children and 1 child that passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, my son Beau passed away on Christmas Day when he was 4.5 months old.
Oh wow.
And I have a foundation set up for him as well at the Northern Lights School. It's called the Baby Beau Fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. But look at you now.
Yes. So anyway, I just feel like I count him because
I mean, you have to.
I count him. Yeah. So my other kids are amazing as well. My daughter Melania just graduated last year from Central St. Martin's University in London.
Okay.
It's a top fashion design school in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And she is now started her own line called Rouja, and it's like a couture loungewear.
Okay.
And my daughter Rose graduated from NYU Film School, and she's a screenwriter in Los Angeles.
That's funny. I have a daughter named Rose also.
Do you?
Yeah, well, her middle name it's Aria Rose, but Rose is her second first name, or whatever you want to call it.
Her middle name.
Yeah. Well, she's got a middle name too, but she's got 2 first names.
It's funny because Rose's real name is not, it's one of her middle names. She's Melissa Ashley Rose.
Ah, nice.
So, but she's been Rose all her life. So
it it's so easy, it just rolls off the tongue.
It's such a great name. It's such an old fashioned classic name, and there's not a lot of Roses in the world.
Well, yeah.
I think a lot of people have Rose as a middle name, but not really as a first name.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen anybody except for now you that calls their kid Rose or Rosie or whatever it is that they go by.
Yeah, I call her Rowie. Row and a bottle of rum. I have all kinds of names.
That is funny. That is funny.
And then my son Nikolai is 20, and he is in college, and he's playing on the golf team there. His team went to the NCAA finals for golf.
Nice.
And he's trying to turn pro. So he's at a tournament in Carmel today. And my little one, who's 6'2". He's not so little. He is down in, where is he today? He's down in San Diego. He qualified for the Worlds.
Oh, wow.
So he is down there at a golf tournament. So everyone is somewhere.
Well, good.
Yes.
Good to stay busy.
Very, yes. They're very active. So it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have 2 twin daughters that live down in San Diego. And then
Nice.
me and my wife have 3 kids together. So
Wow.
yeah, it's super fun.
It is super fun. And it
Yeah.
gets better and it gets less as time goes on, you know?
Yeah. They're 9, 5, and 3. So they're
Yeah.
right at that age where they
You're
need
in it.
a lot of
You're
yeah.
in the trenches.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Mm.
That is really amazing.
But more about Pretty Girl Makeup.
Yes.
What
let's
is
talk
it
about
like?
Pretty Girl.
How did you decide that you wanted to make your own makeup?
You know, I always, I have another client, Kara Golden. She's the CEO of Hint Water.
Uh-huh.
And I've heard her speak so many times about how did she start? How did she start? She worked, she was in the tech industry, and like, how did she start this water company? And it was like, she had a problem. She gained a bunch of weight. She knew she needed to drink more water for health reasons, but she didn't like how just plain water tasted. And there were no really options for having water that didn't have a bunch of preservatives and flavors. So she created this water with fruit essence. So It's kind of the same with me with my company. I drink a ton of water. I'm always putting lip gloss on. And every time I put it on, it would be off in 2 seconds because nothing was long lasting enough.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to, formulate my own with a chemist, and I want it to be like lacquer. I want that stuff to stay on forever. And here is one. So yeah, I wanted something that was going to be long lasting, but also like a natural. And I wanted it to just have like anti-aging properties. I wanted it to do a lot of things. And so I was on holiday in Hawaii with my family and friends. And I had this really funny German friend, Claudia, and she said, we were sitting at the pool with our kids, and you can appreciate this. Imagine sitting by the pool and you're actually watching them in the pool by themselves.
Yeah.
And you're kind of looking at your magazine and talking to someone and not like having to do that, be in the water.
Yeah.
And so she said, honey, we're pretty girls. I go, what the heck does that mean? She goes, no one knows we're mommies for 5 seconds. And we're just being pretty. And that made me laugh so hard. And I thought, that's the perfect name for my company, because I love to make jokes about everything. And I just thought, like, I want this alter ego of a pretty girl. My life's not always pretty, as a parent, you're driving, cleaning, and all the stuff we do. And so I thought this is the perfect thing for another, like, to me, it felt like I was giving the gift of, every lip gloss I have has a funny name. Like I have one that's Rich Husband, Day at the Spa, like, Pretty Girl Lunch, Private Jet. So I kind of wanted this other land of being me when I'm having those long days driving carpool. So that's how it started.
That is funny. And so that's all that you have right now is just lip gloss, or do you plan on branching out into the foundation, mascara, and all that stuff also?
Very good question. So I have had like spa products with my line. It's kind of changed, but then I shrunk it down to just have lip products. But during COVID, I have a new partner, Jordan Hall, and we have investors coming in that are going to help us to expand the makeup line.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we're going to do a skincare line and a hair care line. So we're super excited about it. So that should be happening. We're in the midst of it right now. So hopefully in next year in 2022, it will relaunch into a much bigger, company.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm sure that everybody that follows you can't wait for that. So
I hope so.
I mean, I don't wear makeup, so I mean, hopefully, I can get my wife into it, and then we can get all that stuff going.
Yeah, no, we're very excited about it. It's going to be super fun, and it's kind of like a dream come true for me because I've been self-funded this whole time.
Oh,
I've never, I didn't have investors. I didn't take out any loans. I've just kind of been creating it as I went along, and paying for it. And so it's very hard to compete, especially right now in this environment.
Oh, yeah.
You can't compete. It's
A small,
impossible.
yeah, a small brand name or a boutique type makeup competing against Maybelline or what is it, Naked or
Or
Bare
yeah, or
Minerals or
Kylie Jenner.
whomever.
I
Exactly.
I can't compete with that. So, and
No.
it's so interesting because it's changed so much since I began. Because when I started, there were no influencers or Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how
Yeah.
long ago it was. They had beauty editors at all the magazines. They were like the influencers. They were the ones that decided what was going to be good or not. And then you dealt with publicists and celebrities, and that was pretty much it. And now it's like the magazines are not as, sadly, not as powerful as they used to be. The beauty editors, these influencers have really
Yeah.
taken over. So it's a very different environment than it was when I began. So you have to flow
You
with it.
gotta, yeah, it can change with the times. And that, like, how do you feel about the Instagram influencers or the TikToks or Facebook or whatever other social media platform is out there? Do you feel like those are like valid people that are giving good information, or are those just people that happen to hit the right algorithm and then now they're famous or their brand takes off because of numbers that are on the computer?
I feel both.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I think some of these people, they all, I know they all work very hard to get where they get, but it's just, it's a little frustrating for me that like I am a makeup artist that works, you know, and then I've created this line and that someone can just come in and just, I mean, Kylie Jenner, God bless her, like she's done amazing, but she got to be she became a billionaire in 18 months.
Oh,
And
dang.
it was timing's everything. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing I can't control that. I don't, particularly think it's really fair because I haven't had that same thing happen. I've been raising
Yeah.
children and doing everything
Yeah.
I do, but I think I have to deal with what reality is, and that is the reality. You need to work with these influencers. A lot of them, like, it's hard for me to understand, like how does that person like decide? Like, I mean, they must have some connection to all these followers, and they're very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, the more people that you can reach to or your outreach is, the more people that are end up buying your stuff or following or liking the things that you like. And I mean, it's just one hand feeds the other.
Right. And so, you have to deal with what the situation is. So,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for, the people that have been, really gracious with me and helped. And it's just going to continue. And you just have to go with what is happening. You have to, if these are influencers or are in charge, then that's the way it is. There's nothing you
Yeah.
can do about it. You have to, or you just quit. And I'm not one to quit. So
Well, that's good. That's
yeah.
good. But so doing celebrity makeup, like what's been some of the like the crazy situations that you put in or have been put in, or like terror tantrums or anything like that? What's the behind the scenes like funny stories with doing celebrity makeup?
So crazy stories on set.
On
Um,
set, behind the scenes, just
Well, there's oftentimes like I get like I go work at Gucci or Louis Vuitton, and you're like, oh, I'm so excited. Like the first time I went there, and they literally put me in a closet
oh wow.
to do makeup, and so I have to like pretend like it's just like, wow, this is my glamorous life. I'm in a closet at Gucci doing makeup, but I'm so excited to be here. Um, like what's crazy, sometimes someone will, I've had, Hillary Swank showed up with really bad skin, and I had to get it looking flawless. And, you know, I did. And it was amazing because like a few months later, Us Magazine featured a before and after using what I had done on her, so that
Oh
it didn't
wow.
even look like she had. So that was giving me a heart attack at the time, but it actually turned out okay. Um, so what else? Let's see. I don't know. I've had such great experiences with people. I went and did Bobby Flay's grooming for Food Network, and he made me a cup of tea and we chatted, and he was so funny. Like he was a big tennis fan, and he knew who my husband was.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "Are you married to Ken Flach?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." And he goes, "How the hell did you get that guy to marry you?" And I was he was so funny. And I've had Condoleezza Rice, Metallica and Journey. I've had a lot of amazing, amazing clients, and it's super fun.
Who-
they're everyone I meet with is fantastic. I love them. They're all my favorites when they're, I'm always,
Oh, I'm
people
sure
ask
that
me,
they are.
who's your favorite? And I'm like, oh, whoever I was with last.
Oh, that is funny.
I did last week. There's a new CEO at Instacart. And
Okay.
so I woke up the other morning and I turned on the TV and my shoot, the makeup that I had done was like on the national news.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was pretty cool. And then I checked online and it was in Forbes. So we were in Forbes, like, the shoot. So that was, it's so special when that happens.
Oh, yeah. Being able to see yourself on TV or
Well,
being
not
recognized.
myself, but
Well,
my
yeah, but
my
your
work,
name, your brand,
my
whoever,
name.
yeah, like your
Yeah,
style is out there.
yes, it's very exciting when that happens. It doesn't, especially during COVID, it kind of didn't happen for a long time. So it
Oh,
just felt
yeah.
really good to feel normal again, to start seeing my work back out there in the world.
Yeah, no, that had to have been hard because there wasn't, at least I don't think that there's a lot of production going on. But people are still putting out TV shows, movies, commercials. So people still have to be working, but it's definitely got to be difficult to stay active in
It
that
was
line of work.
it was very hard. I thought my job was bulletproof, that nothing could touch it. There was always fashion, weddings, TV, and it just stopped.
Yeah,
And it was shocking. It really was. And
I
then
can imagine.
I had worked for Fox, so this was kind of a funny one. Fox called me at the beginning of COVID, and I was in San Diego at the time, and they said, "We have a VIP up in Northern California. Can you get home tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah." So I drove home, and I said, "Who is it?" They're like, "Well, we can't tell you." I'm like, I'm going to find out who it is. Who is it? And it was Tara Reid, the
Oh,
Biden
wow.
accuser. So I drove home from San Diego in one day and then woke up in the morning, 4 a.m, to go up to do her makeup, which was another 2 hours north. And 10 minutes before I get there, I get a call from the producer in New York. And he said, "She's not doing it." And I'm like, "What do you mean she's not doing it? I'm here." And he goes, "She must've gotten paid off."
Oh, wow.
So I still got paid that day,
Well,
but
good.
I didn't get, I really was curious to meet her because I can tell someone meeting me in 5 seconds if they're really an honest or good person. So
Okay.
yeah, you never know.
And then probably some of the basic questions. What are some of the gimmicks that you use to make people look flawless on set or on camera?
Okay. So, first of all, everyone's got dark circles under their eyes and
Yeah.
discoloration and stuff. Everyone does. Even models that I work with that are photographed, it's kind of all an illusion. Whatever I see is wrong. So I definitely moisturize the face. I do concealer. I make the skin. I really look at, I'm known for making people's skin look flawless. So
Okay.
I make sure that the foundation is the right color. It's not too, it just blends in. I can't take all the credit for someone looking amazing. There's lights, there's all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. So, I'm part of the puzzle.
Photoshop and all the other stuff that goes into there.
Well, I try to make them not have to Photoshop.
Okay.
I like a lot. I think I get hired a lot because the photographers know that they're not going to have to do a lot of work in post if I do my job right.
Yeah. And
So,
that all comes down to technique. Like, how do you, like, for you, you said you didn't have any makeup background or you didn't go to school for it. How do you learn the technique of
it's
how
just,
to apply or where to apply?
I, you know, I guess just practicing on myself and practicing on others. You learn little tricks from people. I have I had the CFO of Google. I went to do her hair and makeup, and she taught me like a hair trick, like pull that hair tighter. And then I had this other client, Amber Kelleher. She's like a world famous matchmaker, and she had a TV show, and she always said, "Oh, the mascara's got to go out at the ends." And you learn little tricks from everyone. And you look on Instagram. I don't know. I just keep doing little tricks new, and companies, besides that I own my makeup company, other companies send me makeup products and skincare
Yeah.
products. So that's amazing. That's like Christmas Day when I open the door and there's a big box of
Oh, I
makeup.
can imagine.
Japanesque, Costas, Sur Skincare. I've been, Oribe. I've been blessed with these companies sending me products and that I use. And of course I tag them in all my, that's part of the deal. If
Yeah.
they're kind enough to send you products, you absolutely have to like
Give them the
acknowledge
credit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm incredibly grateful and it's fun. So yeah, there's all kinds of little tricks that I do, but a lot of concealer is a big one. And good, moisturizing, making sure the lips are hydrated, lots of lip balm. And, before I do anything, I just make sure that the skin is not dry or cakey because it just does not photograph well.
Yeah, that's my wife's biggest complaint about me is I don't take care of my face. She's like, you wash your face tonight? And I was like, not tonight. We're
That's
just gonna go to
fine.
bed.
Maybe tomorrow. You know
I
what?
usually,
Sometimes, yeah,
yeah,
you just like I brushed my teeth. That's enough.
yeah. Like I hop in the shower, get the washcloth all hot, and I'll wipe it down. I'll be good to go.
That's good. Yeah. No, I think it's just important to take, if you do sunscreen, wear a hat, wear glasses, protect your skin. You know what? The best thing I tell people is protect your skin. Okay. Cause you get one skin, you can get all the facelifts you want. It's never going to look the same.
Yeah.
And not drinking, not smoking, watching what you eat. Green juice is super important. Not eating a ton of, whatever junk you put into your body, that's your body's going to react that
Yeah.
way.
I mean, I think that any dietitian, whatever you put in, is what's gonna be shown throughout your body. So if you eat bad, your skin's gonna look bad. You're gonna look bad. You're gonna feel bad, and that's the energy that you're gonna have.
Absolutely. See, you already know. I don't even have to give you my lecture.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sure my wife will be happy to hear that.
I'm sure it's so funny. My son, Nikolai, that's trying to turn pro, he's going to this head, like a mind coach. And the coach called me and said, I'm really concerned about Nikolai's diet. And, I want to take him to a nutritionist. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been telling that kid forever, green juice, protein, no junk. Like I go, okay, so we're going to pay some nutritionist to say what I've been telling this kid all his
For
life.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's funny because I was listening to a podcast with Rob Deerdeck, and he went to I won't say a head doctor, but went to somebody that gave him the motivation to be where he is now.
A motivational coach.
Yeah, kind of. And it gave him a different outlook on what he wanted. He goes, "What do you want, Rob?" And he goes, "I want to be a billionaire." And he goes, "Well, you're going to be the one that's going to stop you from doing that." And he made himself a multi-mogul on TV, skateboards, everything that he gets his hands into turns into gold pretty much because he made it that way and his motivation did that.
I totally believe that. I think you can, if you're clear on exactly what you want, the universe will help you. But you need to be very clear and not like, oh, well, I kind of want a sandwich, and then you get a peanut butter sandwich. You're like, no, but I want a turkey. You just need
you got
to
a sandwich.
you got a sandwich. The universe gave you what you wanted. So I agree. I'm very clear on the goals I have for my company and for my life and me personally. And I think the clearer I am, the universe will help you. But you need to be crystal clear and not waver in what you want.
Yeah, most definitely. You just gotta, it's gonna get tough, it's gonna get hard, but you have to continue that grind and get through it to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's awesome. But I lost my train of thought there.
No worries. You were asking me questions that someone had asked you about.
Yeah.
To ask me.
Well, I think you answered most of them. Should people moisturize? We kind of covered that one.
100%.
Yeah. And then we kind of talked about it. Craziest combo. Like, have you ever, like, is more celebrity makeup or no, like, sci-fi or movie theater makeup? It's all just natural type stuff.
I can make people beautiful. I do not know how to make people ugly. I don't have that skill. That is a whole other art form that I have zero skills knowing how to do. That's a really, the people that do that have gone to school or they've interned or they've have someone that has taught them. That's just, I don't know. For me, I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't get hired. I don't get hired for that.
For a movie, for for movie makeup. I'll
Yeah, no, I don't do
just
that.
lump all that in there.
That's a whole different world. It's like,
Yeah.
that's a whole different world. Yeah.
Mm. But so where are you moving to?
Where am I moving? I'm moving like
Three
10 minutes.
houses down.
No, no, no. I'm moving about 10 minutes south of here from
Okay.
in Marin. Yeah.
Okay.
Not too far.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I'm downscaling. My house is really big and my kids are all grown and my husband's not here any longer. So someone paid me a very nice sum to pack up my handbags
Hey,
and lip gloss. And that's what we're doing.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Yeah. So what is we're gonna shift gears here for a little bit. So
Okay.
what is sepsis?
Sepsis
Because
is an infection of the blood that attacks your vital organs. So, and once it gets into your bloodstream, it's very hard to stop it. Okay. So so for example, if you have an infection in some form of in your body, in your mouth or your cut, or in my husband's case, bronchitis that turned into pneumonia, it will attack your organs and there's no chance of survival. So it's like, if you have any, that's why I urge people, if you have any of these signs, get to the hospital, get a blood test, and they will give you an IV antibiotic and stop it. It's totally treatable if it's, caught in a timely fashion. If it's not, unfortunately, my husband was with Kaiser Permanente at the time. We called the advice nurse. She spoke to him for 13 minutes. Then his primary care doctor spoke to him for 3 minutes, ignored pretty much everything that the woman had said, and gave him cough medicine with codeine, no antibiotic, and an inhaler. So what happens if you have an infection and you're not given an antibiotic to counter the cough medicine with codeine and the inhaler, because it slows your breathing down?
yeah.
And then the infection grows to the point it's a wildfire and there's no stopping it. So
Yeah, so that's a myth that has been busted for me because you always see on Grey's Anatomy or whatever doctor TV show that you're wearing, whenever they're operating, they say that they're going into sepsis or sepsis could happen. But I didn't know that it could happen from like a cut or bronchitis or whatever it is. I mean, I didn't, that's just kind of mind boggling.
it can come from anything. So it's just super important. And that's the thing. We were not made aware, we didn't know about, I didn't even know what sepsis was before Ken
Yeah.
was sick. And so, now that I know, I just feel like it's important. I've been given this platform to be able to raise awareness and help others. And I just think it's important, to do.
Yeah. And now, do you know the numbers of how many people this happens to on like a routine
Quarter,
basis?
yes, 250,000 people die a year from sepsis.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot. The numbers are huge.
Yeah. That's, and that's something that's totally treatable too. And if it was just caught on time and given the right treatment, that these people could be alive today.
Absolutely. And that's right. What my thing is for my husband, he would be here today if he'd been seen. And I also feel the medical, Kaiser Permanente is a company, it's an insurance company, but they also have doctors. So it's kind of a conflict of interest because they're the same thing.
Yeah.
And so they put into their business plan loss of life. And they reward their doctors by not seeing patients. So if you don't see patients, there is going to be loss of life. You can't, like, if someone says, oh yeah, I feel yucky or I don't, whatever, I can't, unless you see me or touch, feel my pulse or check my heart. Like, how can you treat that? That's insane.
Yeah.
So I would like there to be change in the medical system, that people are seen, not just, speaking to an advice nurse and then a doctor just giving whatever drug.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's very dangerous. It really is.
Yeah. That is so disheartening to hear that that's the way that things are being taken care of.
It is. I mean, it just feels, it's so wrong on so many levels. So, that doctor has to live with himself knowing that he chose not to see my husband, and my husband was on life support in 12 hours.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And never regained consciousness. His children did not get to, say goodbye to him with, they saw him.
Yeah, but he wasn't
goodbye,
there.
but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
No. And that's hard for them to live with,
Yeah. I'm gonna have to talk to my mom about more of that. She was a nurse for I think like 40 years or something like that, and just get some
Wow.
more background information on how that could happen. Or, and I know that you gave the time acronym that we could look out
Yes.
for, but just other things that we could put out there to get this recognized sooner for people.
I think it's just great. Like people will hear this interview and then, just organically they'll be at lunch or dinner and just like, hey, do you know what the signs of sepsis are? I mean, just getting people to speak about it is just the way that it's going to, people are going to be more aware of it.
Yeah. Personally, I appreciate you taking your
I'm-
time out. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I appreciate you taking your time
Thank
out
you.
of your day and making some time for us, and
Well,
appreciate
thank
everything
you
that
for
you do.
having me. I
Yeah,
really
no
appreciate
problem.
it. Thank you so
Hopefully
much.
your move will go good and it won't be too hectic for you. Um,
Hopefully not. It will,
uh,
but it'll be fine. It'll end.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um, but so where can we find more information about you and about your foundations?
Well, you can go to ChristinaFlach.com to see my portfolio, PrettyGirlMakeup.com to buy some makeup products. And we're on Instagram, Christina Flach Makeup, and Pretty Girl, PrettyGirlMkup on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, where else? Yeah.
Anywhere, just
Oh, and
search
the
Christina
foundation,
Flach.
the
Yes.
Northern Lights School in Oakland, California is, solely works on grants and donations. So if anyone would like to donate to the Baby Beau Fund or the Ken Flach Educational Fund, that would be fabulous.
Oh, nice.
Much appreciated.
Well, I appreciate you once again.
Thank you so
And
much.
for everybody out there listening to us, you can, just like what Christina was talking about, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, two dummies at podcast at gmail.com. And we will see y'all next week. All right, Christina, we'll see you later.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Alrighty,
day.
you too.
Bye-bye. Thank you.